So I'm going to attempt to explain how to play the first third of the Covenant and how it's different on Legendary than it is on Easy. And this level is one of the levels that really highlights why Legendary is so different. So to start, everyone knows you hold B to get out of the Pelican early. You'll notice I throw a grenade off to my right, and then I strafe left around a stick on the ground instead of jumping over it, which would be faster. And the reason I do that is because if you jump over it, you can get shot at or aggroed a little too early um, by the brute in between the two rocks. And so I walk around the stick to delay how long, or to delay the aggro from the brute. I charge up the laser and kill the brute and as many enemies, or as many grunts as I can. Okay, so once I've killed that many, I look at my score, and so here my score is 500, and so 500 probably means that I'll have gotten a good spawn for uh, the brutes at the Pelican that are just spawning in now. The reason you don't know for certain is because your Marines have to kill one or two grunts as well, and if they don't kill enough grunts, then you won't get the spawns at the right time, and it will be harder to do this. So I'm hoping that at 500, the next set should spawn in at the right time. And you're going to see over here, there's a rock behind this tree. I'm intentionally going to stop moving forward. I'm going to turn right, jump up onto this rock, and then jump again and move forward. And that's because you want to be high enough in the air that you can get a good angle in on the spawn of the enemies. And what we're looking for is over 1,000 points with one laser. If you get more than 1,000 points, you generally have gotten the war chieftain, and he's really the one that you want to get with this laser shot. Okay, so 1,200 points is really, really good. I don't think I've ever had one higher than that. So 1,200 points is solid, and now we're going to take out both these turrets. The thing with the turrets is that if you are too close or you aim too low when you're throwing spike grenades, the turrets can shoot your spike grenades out of the air and explode them, and it won't kill the turrets. So it's better to aim far away, like be far back from the turrets, and lob your spike grenades at the turrets so that they're not in the same path as the turret shots. You'll see I turned around, and I'm BRing those grunts, and that's because at this point I know I've gotten a really good laser. I'm BRing the grunts because I need all of the grunts at the back area dead so that the Marines move up towards the beach faster. And the faster the Marines move up towards the beach, the earlier I can get the beachhead secure, the beach clear, basically. Now, I go around this rock to the right instead of going up to the left, because if you go around to the right, you have an easier angle at trying to laser the AA Wraith, and the anti-air Wraith is what you want to try and kill next if you manage to get the War Chieftain with the laser shot. If you didn't get the War Chieftain with the first laser shot, he's your target now. But since I got the War Chieftain, I'm going to try and hit the AA Wraith, so I go around the right of the rock instead of around the left. Once I get that, I have to take out this brute and then clear up any grunts that are around. And then I wait for beachhead secure. In this case, I got it really fast because all of the other grunts died in that laser shot or they committed suicide. And so some of that's a little bit of luck, So this ended up being really fast, but I think it can probably be faster. Nice. So now I'm running around picking up grenades. I need... All I need, really, is one frag grenade and a bubble shield, but I'm going to go with as much as I can have right now. I like to take the mongoose here. I think that so going uphill, yes, the warthog has a higher top speed than the mongoose does, but when you're going uphill, you can't maintain that top speed, and so it ends up being faster to take the mongoose up this hill and faster to take the warthog down it on the way back from the tower. The other advantage in legendary is that when you take the mongoose, it's a little more maneuverable, and I find I die less to the banshees when I take the mongoose. So I'm going to intentionally get my marine to get out of the mongoose early so I can get in. And anything below a minute getting onto this mongoose is solid. So the path I'm taking here is super important. It's intentionally done to try and hit the load for the banshees, the aggro zone for the banshees, as late as possible. I've memorized the different kind of positions those ghosts can come out in and adapt my strats for each one of the positions. And that's basically the first... Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so that's the first kind of like hard part of the mission done. The second hard part is coming up. And you're going to notice, as I come around this corner, you want to swerve to the right slightly and head for this grunt here, because you want him to freak out, because if he gets too close to his ghost, he can just get in his ghost and ruin your day, because you need that ghost. So I'm going to swerve slightly right and then swerve slightly left before I get out by the crates and pick up the snipey beam. Okay, getting the ghost. This was really lucky. We're going to go around, and then... So here, I wait for about a second, and the reason I'm waiting, there's a couple reasons. One, you can actually see it in the bottom right here. There's this big red enemy. That's an enemy vehicle. And as I came down into the base, like into the valley there, it spawned two prowlers that come out of this corridor, and they move out this corridor and go up towards the cliffs where I was earlier, where I came from. If I drop into this too early, then the turrets from the prowler can shoot at me, and often they do enough damage that it ruins my day. So instead, I wait half a second or a second for them to get far enough away that they don't aggro, and then I drop in and splatter the turret and throw the bubble shield down to stop myself from dying and get through the door. Okay, this is actually important. You'll notice I turn around here. When I threw down the bubble shield, I threw it down on the far side of the turret. I threw it down on... Oh god, how does this... I threw it down on the side of the turret that was farther away from the door. You want to throw the bubble shield on this side of the turret, because you want the bubble shield to close off this corner area, because this guy with the brute shot can still shoot brute shots if you leave any open space around this corner. And so ideally you want the bubble shield here to block off this corner. I knew I threw it down wrong, so I turned around to watch him to make sure that I didn't get shot by him as I was trying to enter the tower. And going through the tower, through that door, I'm at a 204, which is, it's solid. It's not like fantastic pace, but it's good. Okay. So coming up here, you can just barely see it now. There's a grunt here, and a brute here, and this is where the level starts to diverge. So the way you play this level from here on out is dependent upon what happens in the next 4 seconds or so. On your way back, when you leave this tower, you're going to have to fight through waves of enemies. And the strategy you use to leave this tower is different if this brute is dead than if he's alive. So, on our way in, we're going to try and kill this brute and a grunt if we can. And if we kill him, then our strategy for leaving the tower will be like a newer, faster, much harder strategy that makes world record more easier to get. If we don't kill him, we revert to regular strats, which are to use the invincibility as we leave the tower. So you'll see I don't kill him here. I try. There's one, but I got shot by that grunt and it messed me up. So we're going to shoot these guys here, and they're important because they can throw grenades at you, and you need all of your health to do this jump. Okay, so now this is a history strat, it's not my strat, but it's so fantastic. You need to pick up the power drain because you're going to use the power drain and one frag grenade to clear this room really fast, and this is why we kept the BR instead of picking up the fuel rod gun. I love how he just throws it to you. Oh, it's fantastic. Okay, so a 243 button there is pretty solid. Again, not the best, but it's solid. And now we're going to come down, and you'll notice what I do here is I look down at through the hole in the floor. I look down, and what I'm looking for is to see if there are enemies engaging in combat already, or if the brute is still alive, what he's doing. Basically, I'm just trying to figure out what strategy I'm using to leave, because you never know. Sometimes the brute might have died by some strange sequence of events. But if I don't see a dead brute, I'm going to go with the assumption that he's alive and use the regular tower strats. So I look around, I see a grunt, but I don't really see a brute anywhere. So I'm going to use the invincibility when I leave the tower. Now, I messed that up. Normally, when you throw that grenade, you want the grenade to land right about here. If you draw a line from here to this point in the curvature of in the deco on the map, from here to here, you want it to land about halfway between that line. And the position of my spike grenade was wrong. It was too far back, as you can see. It's like right on that line. And so the explosion didn't turn the box enough to get a good launch. Luckily, using this strat to leave the tower, I've got invincibility, which makes it much easier. If I had tried to do the world record strat and messed up this throw, the run would have died, because you absolutely almost have to have a perfect exit launch to keep the invincibility. And now at this point, I'm just trying to exit and get to the invisibility. There we go. Okay, so that's the first 3 minutes and 30 seconds of the Covenant on Legendary. It's taken me 40 hours to learn how to play it this way and learn how to adapt.